And here it is, the third and final part of Disney vs. Vampires. And yeah, World War D. Yeah. So if you guys remember, if you guys came here from the second video, the second part involved Dracula, now empowered by corrupted human magic, unleashed a spell called the Forever Night. And the Forever Night is exactly what it says. It ends with the sun being blocked out forever by dark magic, and vampires from all over the world are galvanized into attacking the human race. Not only that, but Dracula turned several of the other remaining heroes into vampires. And now you're wondering, well, where do we go now? Like, obviously they bounce back and, jump back into the fray and fight the undead menace, right? No. In fact, everyone runs. And everyone becomes their own separate cells and goes underground. And how long has this been going on? 2 years. It's been 2 years since Dracula unleashed the Forever Night. And now Dracula and the vampires are the dominant force. They've actually built camps that are more like herding cattle, so they can feast on their, to feed and breed humans to keep feeding on them. Not only that, they're also making sure the magic keeps plant life alive in order to feed humans as well as feed on other animals. So the underground resistance is made up of the remaining heroes that are left in the world. It's just who's ever left. As you guys remember, Dipper got turned into a vampire in the second part. So now Stan and the others have fled back to the northwest, where Gravity Falls has become like a major defended point by humans, as well as they get help from the other magical creatures to battle the vampire hordes. It's also become that Stan is kind of like the Saw Gerrera of the Vampire Rebellion. There's this scene, I would love to have this scene if this was an actual thing, where Robbie, who became a vampire, is getting tortured by hitting him with UV lights, and they've got him crucified. They've got him nailed to a cross with, and just throwing holy water on him and hitting with UV lights. And they're like, and he's like, "I told you everything. You're gonna let me go, right?" And Stan's like, "Let you go? Did I say let you go? Wendy, did I say let you go?" "No, you didn't say let him go." He's like, "Yeah, I said I would stop hurting you. I also didn't say I'd shut off the UV lights." So he just leaves them on and just burns Robbie to death with them. You also have Sasha and Marcy, who are part of it, who have joined up with the remaining humans who aren't slaughtered, who haven't been turned into vampires, along Star and Marco. They're also the ones using magic to keep Anne alive, because Anne's blood brought back Dracula, and she's just been in a coma now after healing her with magic. So Anne has been in a coma for 2 years, and has been the whole thing is maybe we can Anne is the key to stopping this vampire horde. Anne is the only way we can Anne has to be the only way to fix whatever to fix this. You also have the gargoyles, who are now on Staten Island. They've fled to Staten Island, and yeah, they've now hooked back up with Demona. Demona's I don't trust these they may not like humans, but they don't like gargoyles either. I'm joining back up with them. Her and Goliath are still not liking each other, but they are protecting the clan and their daughter. They're not they don't want to get back together, because Goliath is still you're a psychopath. And this is only out of convenience. Not only that, Witch has also been a part of them, who's ever left. Will was sadly in the 2-year time span turned into a vampire, so their magic is severely crippled. Jake is also among them, as well as his family. They've all been helping out in the New York resistance. New York, as well, has become a vampire police state, and Xanatos, while not a vampire himself, has actually allied with Dracula and become kind of like a cattle herder for humans. He gets to like, he does want to become immortal, but he's also like, I don't want to become a vampire. Like, drinking blood, that's so faux pas. But yeah, and when Xanatos is like, I didn't want to break Goliath. I didn't want to do that to him. I didn't want to betray Goliath and his clan. But you know the old saying, better at the devil's side than in his path. So yeah, and also it protects his family from, getting eaten as well. Then you have Norrisville. Heidi is now like the voice of the resistance, fighting she's the voice of the resistance. What's ever left of Norrisville, who haven't been turned into vampires, have basically been hiding out. They've all been keeping a low profile through all of this. So yeah, then you have Kim. And Kim has now been wandering, like, the wasteland. She was the start of all this. And Kim has been wandering the wastelands of the U.S., but she does know the world has fallen. Like, the world has... When the night came, and when the night rose, the undead rose with it. And the undead rule through Dracula and the Crimson Court, or as it's also known as, the Order of the Dragon. Now, Dracula's side, he's sitting pretty. 2 years of fulfilling his dream of ruling, mankind. And he now has promoted some of his own other vampires. Dipper himself has been kind of rising through the ranks and actually becoming one of the head leaders of these among the vampires. He's become like a head general. He's also kind of he's also the Starscream to Dracula's Megatron, in that he's kind of become like, while he hates the idea of being a vampire, he has kind of learned that power has its charm. Like absolute power has its charm. But anyway. But Mina is keeping her eye on Mina Harker, of course, Dracula's bride and the leader of the Crimson Court, has been keeping her eye on Dipper, because she knows Mason, his real name, has ambition, and ambition is a dangerous thing when you're immortal. So, from all that, you also have other characters, like some villains who have survived and have not converted into vampires, willingly or unwillingly. Shigo is not a vampire. She's actually like a vampire. She's like a vampire hunter for hire. Draken got turned into a vampire, and now she's just kind of like she's a mercenary who's like just roaming the world, slaying vampires left and right. Not only that, you have like you have just horde, you have other characters. It's also Moon, who is like pretty Moon is like, we're so fucking desperate now with what magic we have left, because Dracula opened the door for magic, uses it to resurrect Toffee, because they're like, we need monsters to fight monsters, so Toffee's been resurrected. As for the Owl House crew, they fucked out. Like, they just got, like, Ida was like, we can't save your planet, the Earth is doomed, we gotta go. When the moment the Forever Night came, Ida was like, fuck this, we're all out, even though Willow was like, we have to save Hunter, we have to, like, and Amity got turned into a vampire too. So they've all been living on the Boiling Isles. Camilla is also there, on the Boiling Isles. And there's always the doorway, which has been sealed shut. And they're just like, we cannot let the vampires come to the Boiling Isles. Vampires were part of the Boiling Isles, but Ida's like, I have never met an evil like Dracula. And if he gets in here, if he finds a way to the Boiling Isles, we'll all die. Meanwhile, you have other characters like Macbeth, who is immortal. He can't be turned into a vampire because the blood of already immortals to an undead immortal is just distasteful. So Macbeth has also been wandering the world, kind of just slaying vampires as well. He's also created a safe haven for humans. He's protected humans and other mystical beings because vampires are more or less just annihilating other non-humans as well. They want to be the top species. Humans are cattle, werewolves, everything else, fairies, pixies, anything else is just a competitor, and they're going to get wiped out. So eventually Kim finds her way to Macbeth, and Macbeth reveals that I've been keeping contact with Sasha and Marcy, and reveals that I think I can find Anne is our way to defeat Dracula and break. If we kill Dracula, we break the Forever Night, and we break because it's connected to him now. We can find if we storm his base because he's gone back to Transylvania. He went back to Romania. He went back to Budapest. Of course, he reclaimed his old castle. Of course, that's where he would go. If we can lay a siege on his castle, if we can kill Dracula, if we can successfully kill him, and if we can kill him, all of this will be broken. The day will come, and the vampires will be broken. So, from there, what happens is that they rally together, all the remaining heroes, and are like, we're about to do something that some of us will never come back from. And Toffee and Macbeth and Shigo and Demona are yeah, we're gonna all team up with the heroes now. We're in the end game now. But yeah, it's about to get really bad. So the first thing they have to do is find a way to wake up Anne, but the calamity powers are gone. So Sasha and Marcy Marcy's been building on a theory that maybe there's a way we can use the power of that Sasha and I are still connected to calamity power. So they try with all their might and just heal Anne and wake her up, and she's like, "Holy shit! I've been awake the whole time." Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, Anne has been her soul has been in purgatory and looking at all the events. So she's like, "I'm up to speed. Let's go." And not only that, their calamity, Anne, Sasha, and Marcy's calamity powers have been reawakened for a limited time. So she's like, "We gotta go. We gotta put a fist through Dracula's asshole and kill him." So it's just like Avengers Endgame. They all they first have to go to get Ida and the other members of the Owl House. They're all like, "Let's do this and get our friends and loved ones back." So now it is just a direct siege on the castle, and Dracula's like, "It's been 2 years and I've been waiting. I wanted a war. I wanted a battle, and I was praying you all would survive. I was hoping you all would live, especially you, Kim Possible. I was hoping that you would make it. I was hoping you among all of them would survive, because that's when Dracula reveals, you are the last in line, the last of the line of my greatest enemy." And he's like, "Yeah, your ancestor on your mom's side was Van Helsing, so she is the last of the bloodline to Abraham Van Helsing." So yeah, all comes back to Kim, and they have to fight their way through their loved ones. And he's like, "If there's anyone we don't love or don't like, we can stake them." So they're staking people left and right. Mabel encounters Dipper, who's like, "Hi sis, been a while." And she's like, "Yeah, how's the blood drinking going?" He's like, "It's good. I'm kind of don't worry, I'm not going to attack you. But listen, when this is over, I got some plans." And she's like, "Plans? Yeah. Just follow. If you're wondering where Dracula is," he tells the others, "If you're wondering where he is, he's in the bottom of the castle." You're welcome. So they all go down there. Mina actually does battle with the villain, Macbeth and Toffee and the villains. She battles them. Macbeth gets her with a sword. Shigo burns half her face off. Demona bites her throat out, and she's just and Toffee's just like, "You're not you're not the only monster here," and just fucking decapitates her. So yeah, it comes down to Dracula versus Kim. and he uses Ron, who's a vampire, against her, fights through it, fights past him, and puts a stake through Dracula's heart and kills him. She puts an end to him, and she's like, "Go to hell and take your fucking friends with you." So yeah, with Dracula dead, the Forever Night ends. Sun comes up instantly, starts burning away vampires. Those who survive scuttle away to the darkness, and from there, Dracula's just kind of dying, and he's just dying on the ground. And Dipper's like, my turn. And that's when he takes pulls the stake out, and he's like, oh, he's already dead. Takes Dracula's heart and proceeds to eat it. And he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, obviously you guys don't know what a power vacuum is. You don't understand what the 2 years have been for me. I've learned that the moment this ends, the Crimson Cord is just going to try to build up again, and every vampire out there is now it's a power vacuum, and I've been waiting 2 years for this. And they're like, have you been planning this the whole time? And he's like, if Bill Cipher taught me anything, it's that play the long game. And the rest of the Gravity Falls group are like, shit. Holy shit. And he's like, you guys are welcome too. I'm not gonna instantly wage war on all of you. So he convinces the other members of the Gravity Falls game to feed off of him, and that creates a new bloodline of vampires, ones that are not inherently evil. Also, with Dracula dead, those who were turned back human, and the evil that Dracula imprinted on them is gone too. So, yeah, Dipper, Mason, and the Gravity Falls group are in the new line of vampire lords who are going to take over the Order of the Dragon, or what's left of it, and become the new lords of vampire, lords of the undead. Like an undead royal family. Rather than have one lord, they'll have several, and they'll now be overseen by all of them. But at the same time, Kim's like, if you step out of line once, if any of you step out of line once, he's like, I know, you'll put a stake through me. And she goes, I'll cut your head off, and I'll stake you and cut your head off and put the body out in the sun. It's like, damn, bitch. Okay, loud and clear. So, there you go. That is the end of the Disney vs. Vampires trilogy. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below. What did you guys think of the whole story? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.